Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to EVE Online. Today, as you can see, I'm in LowSec, and I just wanted to make this video real quick as a tutorial for people who wanted to do LowSec belt ratting. I've just recently gotten into it, and it seems to be fairly lucrative, so I'm just going to show you guys what I do when I go out on a run. The first thing you want to do, you want to find an area of LowSec which is fairly abandoned. Unfortunately, I docked here last night. I was the only person in the system, but now we've got 5 other people in local here. I'm still going to try to do this. Obviously, the more people are in the system, the more dangerous things get, but as long as I watch my D-scan, I should be fine. So let's undock here, and I'll show you what I do. So right away, I have 3 things on D-scan. This probably is not the system where I want to start my exploration, so I'm going to move to Fuskunen, which is also a 0.2 system. I've spent the last day or so learning the nearby systems here. You want to do this in a 0.1 or a 0.2 system. They're the most effective in terms of the ISK you can expect to make from this. I'm doing this in a Vexor Navy Issue, but you don't have to use that. Most cruisers, I think, should be able to do this. All you really need are is a ship that has a decent tank. You see, I have, if I turn that on, 17,000 effective health. I can restore 44. I can passively tank 44 health per second. Okay, so this system, there's only one other person. There's 2 Guardians Galas because that event is still ongoing, but that's not what I'm here for. You see, I've sorted my overview by name, which is not usually what you want to do, but there's a reason. I'm just going to warp to the first asteroid belt. This will mean that they don't move in order. It'll be easy to keep track of which ones I've already been to, because they'll always be sorted by name instead of distance, which is going to change. And again, with one other person in the system, I'm pretty much constantly checking my D-scan. The big thing is your ship should be able to output at least 400 DPS. If it's under that, I suspect you'll have a hard time doing what you need to do. But like, I know I was doing this in a regular Vexor earlier. I just changed to the Vexor Navy Issue because it was I wanted to get through this a little faster, and that lets me field 5 ogres instead of 2 and some mediums and some lights. Alright, so nothing in this belt, warping the next one. I also have the other guy here on D-scan. It's an industrial ship. Oh, 3rd person in the system. I actually saw this industrial ship in the system earlier. I don't know where they are. I don't really feel like finding them and killing them. Not in the least because I worry it may be a trap, but that's not really the point. Okay, this other guy's in a covert ops frigate, but I don't have to worry so much about him either. Alright, we have some enemies in this belt, but they're not the ones I'm looking for. They're just a destroyer and 2 frigates. No notable bounty on them. Not worth our time. Most of your time here is going to be spent warping between belts, looking for the type of enemies we want. And there's really, I think, three types that are worth stopping for, but one is a lot more profitable. So we'll see what we find here. It's kind of exciting because you never know exactly what you're going to get. So we have more frigates, more destroyers, and we also have, on the overview here, an NPC mining operation. Those, I believe, were added fairly recently. So they're kind of exciting. 3rd guy left the system. I haven't tried to do them. You're supposed to be able to like ambush them and, steal their loot, and like a defense fleet warps in to protect them. My understanding is that's fairly difficult and is something you might want to do with friends, or at least in like a Tech 2 ship. Oh, I still have drones here left from last night when people came to kill me. More importantly, I have the exact spawn I want. This is the big enemy you want to look for. Guristis Clone Soldier Transporter. I'm going to activate my micro warp drive, burn into him. Just going to wait for him to target me before I launch my drones, because he will target drones. You see, he does a lot of damage. He's going to web you when you get close. That's fine. Turn this on. I'm armor tanked, so I don't mind that he's burning through my shield really fast, and I'm going to start repairing now. I'm not going to try to orbit him, because with my micro warp off, he will be faster than me. You see he has a 1.5 million bounty, which is already pretty decent, but wait till you see what he drops. This is why I said you need like at least 400 DPS, because he's going to repair his shields here, and this is with 600 DPS. You see it still takes a little bit to get through, and I'm not cap stable while I'm running the armor rep and my armor hardener. So it is important that I have a decent amount of DPS. 600 is well in excess of what I need, but you still, if you had less than 400, I suspect you'd be in a little bit of trouble here. You also want decent tank and like an armor repairer so that he can't just kill you outright. Alright, can switch these off, redock the drones, loot this wreck. And as you can see, the big thing he drops, Clone Soldier Transporter tag, loot that. And warp to the next belt while we talk about it. This is worth 18.2 million estimated price. Depending on whether you're going to make your own sell order or sell it directly to a buy order, that price might change, but they're worth a lot. And this is not a terribly rare spawn. Like, with all of these belts in this system, I'm probably going to find like one more before I'm through all of them. We'll see. That's the most valuable enemy you can get here. If you're in a 0.1 system, there's an enemy that drops a slightly more valuable tag with a very similar name. They are more difficult to kill, and you'll want to be careful because they also will they'll actually warp scramble you, so you can't actually back out of that fight. If you pick it, you have to win it. I've only seen them in a 0.1 system, so if you stay in 0.2, then you don't have to worry about it. If you're going to do this in 0.1, make sure that you are able to, like, you're able to kill those guys about as easily as I just did. And if you go up to 0.3 or 0.4, the spawn rates on those guys are lower. I don't know if they spawn at all. Certainly it's very visibly a lower spawn rate. The area I've been in has this system, which is a 0.2. This system I started in and was docked in, which is another 0.2, and then next to that there was a 0.1. All right, this belt's empty too. Let's just reload our ammunition here. All right, we got something here. We have 3 cruisers. I don't really think these guys are worth my time. None of them drop like consistently special loot. It's, you might get lucky and get something worth like 500,000 off them, but their bounties are pretty low. Generally, outside of that one special enemy, which is really what I'm looking for. The only things I'm going to stop for are battle cruisers and battleships. Or if there's something I haven't seen yet. Okay, here we get a battle cruiser, so it's less valuable by far, but I'll show you what those look like. And again, this is not terribly difficult. I'm going to use light drones for this because there's frigates with it, and I don't want like my drones, my good drones, the Federation Navy ogres, to get shot down. Again, just remember to check your D-scan often. Even with light drones, we do pretty significant damage to this guy. Let the drones clean up the frigates while we loot this. Yeah, no significant loot there, but the bounty's okay. We have another guy in system. Don't have him on D-scan yet, so let's just keep warping between asteroids.
Warp drive active.
Just pulse the armor repair every once in a while. And like I say, alpha clones can easily do this. A regular, they could fly this ship that I'm in. I think with most of the fittings I have, like most of the same fittings, get results almost as good. Even a normal Vexor can do this, at least in a 0.2 system. I probably wouldn't want to try it in a 0.1. But as you can see, we've been doing this for like 10 minutes since we started, maybe, and we've made 18 million. Plus that bounty, so like 19 million. And it is low sec. You'll probably die doing this a few times. That's fine as long as you're making more than you're losing. Hey, here's, as I predicted, we see a second one. There is an unaccounted for player here now, so I'll want to be wary of them. Definitely want to pay more attention to my D-scan than usual. Burn into him. And really, as soon as he starts targeting me, that's when I will feel comfortable taking my drones out. I don't want my expensive drones to get shot down. There we go. He's shooting me. Get him, boys. It's actually interesting. The other player left the system, so this epithal is actually just kind of sitting there. It's not the player. Still nothing on D-scan though, so this other guy is not within 14 AU of me. You can see there where I'm really not cap stable, but that's okay. It'll hold out plenty long enough to kill this guy and make us another 18 million. Pulse the micro warp. There we go. And the clone soldier tag. That's a 100% drop as far as I can tell. They've never failed to drop it. Hey, I'm alone in the system again. I love being alone in a low-sec system. I almost never find a system where that happens, so I'm glad I found this area of space, which is fairly isolated. It's fairly low activity. At least from, this is my second day doing this. Maybe this is just an anomalous weekend, like the people who live here are all goons and they're busy doing Burnjita. Oh, that might have ended today. Okay, battle cruiser here, slightly higher than normal bounty. It's alone, we'll kill it. We're alone in the system, so there's no risk. Just burn in, shoot it. This will be a much faster experience than the guys that drop the big money. Okay, 250,000 from that guy. That's pretty good, actually.
Warp drive active.
And we just have 4 more asteroid belts to look at. Looks like there's nothing in this one. 2 new players in the system.
Warp drive active.
Not too worried about anyone finding me while I'm quickly warping between all these belts. The only time I'm really vulnerable in this is when I'm in the belt itself. I imagine that the different factions will have, like, it won't always be Guristas clone soldier, it will be faction clone soldier, or maybe some equivalent. Maybe Guristas are the only one who have clones, but I expect that every pirate faction would have an equivalent tag. Okay, we got nothing here. People keep coming into this system, and I keep not seeing them on D-scan, which is a little concerning, but
Warp drive active.
it is, I guess it's a big system. Everything's more than 14 AU apart, which is kind of nice for me, because it makes it hard to find me. I'm not here to fight. Okay, we got a cruiser here and some frigates. Not worth it, though. It's, 100k in bounties might seem kind of nice, but
Warp drive active.
bear in mind that what we're looking for is worth 18 million, so it would really have to, your time is pretty valuable. You have to be aware which activities, like killing these guys, are not worth the ISK for the time it would take. You make more money if you just move on and look for the big things. Okay, and frigates and destroyers here. That was the last belt, so we're going to move back to... Need to remember which one is my my other .2 system. I have it here somewhere. Ueman.
Warp drive active.
So we're going to go back to the station that we were docking at there before. I've, I believe, 2 tags from when I was doing this last night there. And I'll dock up there and finish the video, but then I'm going to do the same in that system and maybe in the .1. But that'll, once we're docked, I'll wrap up the video.
Warp
only 2 people in this system now. It's much nicer. And you can see there's a lot of asteroid belts here. The point 1 system only has 4. It's Pala over here.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Okay, and we're safely docked, so we can offload all of our loot. And you can see we made about 40 million, give or take a little, for maybe 20 minutes of work. So that's really good in terms of ISK potential. If you're an alpha looking to flex yourself, this might be a good way to do it. It's not risk-free, but EVE is a risky game by nature. You're not really safe anywhere. So thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next video.